Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Top eBay Sports Card Sales of the Week, 80s and 90s edition.
We recap the previous week's top 5 sales from each sport. Unlike our weekly junk wax list,
this list has only one restriction on what can be included. Only one sale of each individual card can occupy a spot on this list, so we have no repeats. Let's get started. Starting this week, I've combined the 80s and 90s lists into one. I went back to the beginning of the year and combined the historical data, and I've also added one additional category for other sports, which includes soccer, boxing, and golf cards, as well as any others that could potentially make the list. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this new format and if you have any suggestions going forward. Alright, let's get into it. Starting off with football in the number 5 position. From 1997 Metal Universe, we have the Dan Marino Precious Metal Gems Green, numbered at a 10. This card was graded in a PSA 7 and is sold for $18,100. This is a record sale for a PSA 7, as there was only one previous sale considering it's only numbered at a 10, and that sale was for just under $13,000, but it was for the exact same card in February of last year. In the number 4 position, from 1998 Bowman's Best Autograph Refractors, we have a Peyton Manning rookie card, graded a BGS Pristine 10 with a 10 for the auto. This card sold for $19,200. This Pristine edition had only a 9.5 subgrade for surface, and this card has a pop of 4 with no higher graded black labels. In the number 3 position, from 1998 Topps Chrome, we have the Peyton Manning Refractor, graded in a PSA 10. This card sold for $22,581, which is the second highest sale for a PSA 10, and the previous high was $1 short of $25,000 from August of last year. This card has a pop of 42. In the number 2 position, from 1998 Skybox EX 2001, we have the Peyton Manning Essential Credentials Now, numbered at a 54. This card was graded a PSA 10 and sold for $34,150. There was no previous sales, and this card has a pop of only 1. And in the number 1 position, from 1981 Topps, we have the Joe Montana rookie card graded in a PSA 10. This card sold for a record $83,500. There was actually 2 record sales of this card this week, as another one sold for just over $70,000. This card was listed by PWCC with an above average eye appeal, which means it's in the top 30% of all PSA 10s. The total for the top 5 80s and 90s football cards this week was $177,351. This is a huge record, and it eclipsed last week's high of just over $100,000. Moving on to hockey, in the number 5 position, from 1985 Topps, we have the Mario Lemieux rookie card, graded in a PSA 9. This card sold for $4,594, which is a record for a PSA 9, as the previous high was $2,000, which was from a week ago. This card was listed through PWCC and had an eye appeal of A, which is above average, which means that it had eye appeal in the top 30% of PSA 9s. In the number 4 position, from 1986 O-Pee-Chee, we have the Patrick Waugh rookie card, graded in a PSA 10. This card sold for $9,333. This is the second highest sale of a PSA 10, and the record was actually from last week's list at $11,995. This card in a PSA 10 has a pop of 86. In the number 3 position, from 1980 O-Pee-Chee, we have the Mark Messier rookie card, graded in a PSA 10. This card sold for $22,500. This is a huge record for a PSA 10, as the previous high was only $7,500. PWCC has eye appeal for this card, ranked as an A, which is the top 30%, and this card has a pop of only 40. In the number 2 position, also from 1980 O-Pee-Chee, we have the Ray Bourque rookie card, graded in a PSA 10. This card sold for $23,700, which is also a huge record, as the previous high was $7,500 from October of last year. The eye appeal of this card from PWCC was rated exceptional, which means the top 15% of all PSA 10s. This card has a pop of 31. And then the number 1 position from 1985 O-Pee-Chee, we have the Mario Lemieux rookie card graded in a PSA 10. This card sold for a record $80,100. The previous high for this card was $44,400, which was only back in December of last year. This card was sold through PWCC as well, and its eye appeal was rated as above average, which is the top 30% of all PSA 10s. The total for the top 5 80s and 90s hockey cards this week was $140,227, which is a huge record for this year. Moving on to baseball, in the number 5 position from 1983 O-Pee-Chee, we have the Tony Gwynn rookie card rated in a PSA 10. This card sold for $12,099. This is a record for a PSA 10 as the previous high was only $6,219 from December of last year. This card has a very low pop of only 31. And in the number 4 position from 1990 Topps, we have the Frank Thomas rookie card, no name on front, error. This card, graded in a PSA 8, sold for $12,322. This is a record sale for a PSA 8, as the previous high was just over $7,000 from October of last year. This card in an 8 has a pop of 93, and there are 20 cards graded higher with 19 9s and 1 10. And then number 3 position from 1992 front row, we have the Derek Jeter pre-rookie card silver foil graded in a PSA 10. This card sold for $14,000. This card has a low pop of only 12, and the previous high sale of a PSA 10 was from way back in 2017 of only $1,625. However, there hasn't been too many sales of these cards. And in the number 2 position from 1987 O-Pee-Chee, we have the Barry Bonds rookie card graded in a BGS 10. This pristine example sold for $19,101. This card has subgrades of 10s with a 9.5 for surface and a very low pop of only 5 with none graded higher, as there are no black labels. PSA 10s of this card also has a low pop of only 36. And in the number 1 position from 1993 Upper Deck SP, we have the Derek Jeter rookie card graded in a BGS 9.5. This card sold for $25,950. The subgrades of this card were all 9.5s except for a 9 for corners. And this card has a pop of 270, but there are no cards graded higher. So there's no 10s, no black labels. The total for the top 5 80s and 90s baseball cards this week was $83,472. This is up a bit from last week's total of just under $73,000, but it isn't the high from 2 weeks ago. Moving on to basketball, in the number 5 position from 1985, we have the Michael Jordan Nike promo rookie card graded in a PSA 10. This card sold for $35,101. This is a huge record, as the previous high set back on January 15th of this year was $23,380. This card graded in a PSA 10 has a pop of 167. In the number 4 position from 1987 Fleer, we have Michael Jordan's second year card graded in a PSA 10. This card sold for $45,000 and was a record for this list. However, this has since been eclipsed. Stay tuned next week and we'll see what that new high is. In the number 3 position from 1980 Topps, we have the Larry Bird and Magic Johnson rookie card graded a PSA 9. This card sold for a record $60,000, with the previous high being $33,000. This particular card was rated above average eye appeal from PWCC, which means top 30% for its grade. In the number 2 position from 1996 Topps Chrome, we have the Kobe Bryant Refractor rookie card, graded in a BGS 9.5. This card sold for $99,999. This card's subgrades are 9.5s with a 9 for surface. This card has a pop of 88 with 13 10s and 1 black label graded higher. And in the number 1 position from 1986 Fleer, we have the Michael Jordan rookie card graded in a PSA 10. This card sold for, at the time, a record sale of $350,000. However, since then, multiple cards have sold in golden auctions for $738,000 a piece for PSA 10s. This card's value has seen a crazy explosion in the last couple months, as you could buy a PSA 10 in early December for only $150,000. Jordan's rookie card in a PSA 10 has a pop of 316. The total of the top 5 80s and 90s basketball cards this week was $590,100. This is a huge number, and it eclipses last week's total of $325,156. Massive week for 80s and 90s basketball. And finishing up in our new others category and the number 5 position, we have the 1986 Panini Supersport UK Mike Tyson and Marvin Hagler foil graded in a PSA 8.5. This card sold for $4,500. This card has a very low pop of only 2. There are 8 graded higher 9s, but no 10s. In the number 4 position, from 1997 Browns Boxing, we have Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s rookie card graded in a PSA 9. This card sold for $7,000, which is a record for a PSA 9, as the previous high was only $1,150 from June of last year. In the number 3 position, from 1996 Sports Illustrated for Kids, we have Tiger Woods graded in a BGS 9.5. This card sold for $9,999. The subgrades for this card are 9.5s with 9 for edges. This card has a pop of 106, and there are 14 cards graded higher with 12 10s and 2 black labels. In the number 2 position, we have the 1987 A Question of Sport UK Mike Tyson graded in a PSA 10. This card sold for $12,844. The previous high for this card was $5,000 from August of last year, and it has a low pop of only 16. And in the number 1 position, 1986 Panini Supersport UK, we have the Mike Tyson rookie card autographed, graded in a BGS 9.5 with a 10 for the auto. This card sold for $35,001. The subgrades for this card are a 10 for centering, 9.5s for corners and edges, and a 9 for surface. It's a very, very low pop. I couldn't find another autographed one like this. The total of the top 5 others category this week was almost $70,000. This is a huge number when compared to the back calculated values that I computed for the previous 3 weeks. And the grand total from all sports this week is just over $1 million at $1,060,674. Wow, that is a huge week for 80s and 90s cards. The previous week's total was $562,000. Can't wait to see if next week brings more records and more crazy prices. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. In addition, hit that bell icon and get notifications so you don't miss out on any of our future great content.